in a subset of the multiverse labeled the Fleming Multiverse. In Universe 69, United Kingdom Secret Intelligence Agent James Bond reviewed an email chain.
SIS. Records Department. Multimedia Sub-Department. Security Officer Desk. Analysis of media exposure and parallel potential of security breach. It has come to the attention of the Records Department that Her Majesty's Secret Intelligence Service may have a security risk in the Operations Sub-Department designated 00. Evidentiary. The Daily Mail. 8 January 2003. Page 3. Review of Shag Another Day. 52 years ago, Ian Lancaster Fleming typed the first Austin Powers novel Royale Shag. This erstwhile comedy thriller portrayed the hero of the book as a bumbling British Secret Service agent. This agent had appeared one day from the future via time machine. The future, a time when the Egypt-Israeli standoff had escalated into a war that was not supported by the people of the free world. A peace movement had spread throughout the free world. Austin Powers was a product of this generation, spreading his word of world peace, free love, and putting down the warmongers of the world. Fleming's prose was so popular that it spawned the 1960s cultural upheavals that occurred during the Vietnam conflict. The Beatles copied Austin's pageboy haircut. Elvis copied his freedom to dance and popularized the pelvic thrust that Ian had suggested as the popular dance of the 70s. And brought the magazine Playboy into the households of the world. Teaming in later years with the publisher of Playboy magazine, and again later with film producer Kevin McClory, Fleming spawned one of the most profitable film series in history. These films were imitated by several different film companies, causing the spy mania of the late 1960s. Upon Mr. Fleming's death, Austin Powers was deep frozen along with his nemesis Dr. Evil. John Gardner, the writer of the successful imitation novel series about Boise Oaks, took over the reins of the Powers literary storyline. Awakening in 1997, Powers again took off into the past after Dr. Evil, his clones, and his gang of terrorists. Well, Mr. McClory has done it again with Shag Another Day. This time there is a difference, however. Scott Evil has taken the reins of the organization. Dr. Evil shows up in only a few minutes of screen time as Scott freezes him for the foreseeable future. Or until Mr. Myers wishes to don the suit again. Scott Evil, it turns out, was behind the September 11, 2001 attacks in the United States, using his German lovely Emma Bunt, the real leader of Al-Qaeda. Think Margaret Thatcher portrayed by Halle Berry. Scott had sent computer operators into the World Trade Centers that morning to transfer funds from several banks into the accounts of the evil empire. Austin Powers is sent from the future back to stop Scott Evil and Emma Bunt from completing their newest plot. The luscious Halle Berry lights up the screen in a role made especially for her with lots of high-kicking and close-ups. All in all, a 2-star movie. Not the best Austin Powers movie, but certainly not the worst. Nigel Broadbutt. See Appendix for a list of Austin Powers movies. Appendix. Austin Powers movies produced by Kevin McClory.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production. An Alfred Hitchcock film of Ian Fleming's master spy, Austin Powers in Fireballs, by Ian Fleming, Kevin McClory, and Jack Whittingham. Starring Peter Sellers as Austin Powers, Orson Welles as Dr. Evil, Peter Lorre as Fat Bastard, Ursula Andress as Miss Shelley Beach.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production. A Terrence Young film of Ian Fleming's master spy, Austin Powers in From Turkey with Undressing, by Ian Fleming and Kevin McClory. Starring Peter Sellers as Austin Powers, Bob Hope as Dr. Evil, Robert Shaw as Number 2, Jane Mansfield as Miss Alexei Ruska.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production. A Terrence Young film. Ian Fleming's master spy, Austin Powers in Dr. Evil. By Ian Fleming and Kevin McClory. Starring Peter Sellers as Austin Powers, Joseph Wiseman as Dr. Evil, Jack Lord as Number 2, Honor Blackman as Mrs. Jane Jungle.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in Royale Shag. By Ian Fleming and Kevin McClory. Starring Peter Sellers as Austin Powers, David Niven as Dr. Evil, Woody Allen as Scott Evil, Deborah Kerr as Molly McDonald.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in You Only Shag Twice. By Ian Fleming, Kevin McClory, and Roald Dahl. Starring Peter Sellers as Austin Powers, Donald Pleasance as Dr. Evil, Sean Connery as Number 2, Raquel Welch as Miss Wonder Kiss Me.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in Servicing Her Majesty. By Ian Fleming and Kevin McClory. Starring Peter Sellers as Austin Powers, Telly Savalas as Dr. Evil, Stanley Baker as Number 2, Diana Rigg as Mrs. Icy Queen.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in Shagging Is Forever. By Ian Fleming and Kevin McClory. Starring Peter Sellers as Austin Powers, Jackie Gleason as Dr. Evil, Robert Wagner as Number 2, Jill St. John as Miss Rosie Chief.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in Live and Let Shag. By Ian Fleming and Kevin McClory. Starring Roger Moore as Austin Powers, Jackie Gleason as Dr. Evil, David Hickerson as Number 2, Jane Seymour as Miss Texas Hold'em.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in The Girl with the Golden Bottom. By Ian Fleming and Kevin McClory. Starring Roger Moore as Austin Powers, Christopher Lee as Dr. Evil, Hervé Villechaize as Mini-Me, Britt Eklund as Miss Susie Gold.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in Moonraper. By Ian Fleming and Kevin McClory. Starring Roger Moore as Austin Powers, Kurt Jorgens as Dr. Evil, Richard Kyle as Frankie Mobster, Farrah Fawcett as Miss Marble Moon.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in For Shagging You Only. By Ian Fleming and Kevin McClory. Starring Roger Moore as Austin Powers, Topol as Dr. Evil, Kenny Baker as Mini-Me, Barbara Bach as Miss Doyle Wan Amy.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in his next film, A Shag to a Kill. By Ian Fleming and Kevin McClory. Starring Roger Moore as Austin Powers, Christopher Walken as Dr. Evil, Christopher Walken as Clone, Linda Carter as Mrs. Roxy Swiftheart.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in Shagging a Lady. Starring Pierce Brosnan as Austin Powers, Max von Sydow as Dr. Evil, Klaus Brandau as Number 2, Mord Adams as Miss Whisperwind.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in The Shagging Nights. By John Gardner, Kevin McClory, and Bramwell McClory. Starring Pierce Brosnan as Austin Powers, Jerome Crabb as Dr. Evil, Brian Dennehy as number 2. Meg Ryan as Mrs. Stradivarius.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in. License to Shag. By John Gardner and Kevin McClory. Starring Pierce Brosnan as Austin Powers, Robert Davi as Dr. Evil, Benicio del Toro as number 2, Talia Soto as Miss Mexica Guatemala.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in. Special Servicing. By John Gardner and Bramwell McClory. Starring Pierce Brosnan as Austin Powers, Elton John as Dr. Evil, Robert Wagner as number 2, Bridget Nielsen as Mrs. Scott Evil.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in. Golden Orb. By John Gardner and Bramwell McClory. Starring Pierce Brosnan as Austin Powers, Sean Bean as Dr. Evil, John Candy as Fat Bastard, Drew Barrymore as Miss Strawberry Ripple.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in. Man of Mystery. By John Gardner and Mike Myers. Starring Mike Myers as Austin Powers, Mike Myers as Dr. Evil, Robert Wagner as number 2, Elizabeth Hurley as Mrs. Vanessa Kinsington.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in. The Spy Who Shagged Me. By John Gardner and Mike Myers. Starring Mike Myers as Austin Powers, Mike Myers as Dr. Evil, Rob Lowe as number 2, Heather Graham as Miss Felicity Shagwell.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in. Goldmember. By John Gardner and Mike Myers. Starring Mike Myers as Austin Powers, Mike Myers as Dr. Evil, Seth Green as Scott Evil, Beyoncé Knowles as Foxy Cleopatra.
Columbia Pictures announce a Kevin McClory production of Ian Fleming's Master Spy. Austin Powers in. Shag Another Day. By John Gardner and Mike Myers. Starring Mike Myers as Austin Powers, Seth Green as Scott Evil, Rob Lowe as number 2, Halle Berry as Miss Emma Bunt.
Subdepartment Summary. In a recent vetting procedure, it was noted that one of the longtime members of the O subdepartment was on friendly terms with Mr. Ian Fleming. This officer has had many operational roles. He has previously been vetted regarding these potential security leaks 6 times. However, we feel that this case is different. Miss Irma Bunt was a confidant of Ernst Stavro Blofeld, and this newest movie Shag Another Day, Emma Bunt is a willing agent of Scott Evil. It is our position that a possible security leak has occurred in the 00 subdepartment, perhaps the officer himself. Frank Smallfoot, Media Security Officer.
Reply. Although this officer has strained the bounds of employment on Her Majesty's Secret Intelligence Service in the past, there has never been any time recorded or hinted about regarding this officer's oath of official secrets. In fact, this officer and many others in the operations departments are publicly ridiculed and damaged by these spurious films and their ilk. In fact, these films are previewed by our agent, in the Standards Office of this country. The film in question used the name Bunt in a sexist mode, not as a substitute for a specific individual. They were allowed to use it when they changed it from Punta, which was deemed too offensive. William Tanner, Chief of Staff. M. Chief of Service.
James Bond stood in his office in Sydney, Australia and looked at the document in disgust. Mulled over its conclusion.
Well, that is the way to deal with that, Bill.
Ian Fleming dreamed in spy's disguise. He penned a world of suits and lies. Austin Powers came to play, shagadelic every day. When the clock struck Fleming's final hour, John Gardner stepped into the power, carried on tales so eccentric and bold, a journey in shadows of glitter and gold. When the clock struck Fleming's final hour, John Gardner stepped into the power, carried on tales so eccentric and bold, a journey in shadows of glitter and gold. Oh, spies and laughter fill the skies, miniature chaos in disguise. Dr. Evil sits with pinky raised, in a plot that's endlessly crazed. Kevin McClory shouted cut and scene. He painted chaos on the filmic screen. Larger than life, they spun that reel. Groovy villains, the world to steal. Velvet suits, plans unhinged. The spy world turned and cringed. In the Austin Powers Groove Fest, British silliness at its best. Oh, spies and laughter fill the skies, miniature chaos in disguise. Dr. Evil sits with pinky raised, in a plot that's endlessly crazed. Velvet suits, plans unhinged. The spy world turned and cringed. In the Austin Powers Groove Fest, British silliness at its best. Oh, spies and laughter fill the skies, miniature chaos in disguise. Dr. Evil sits with pinky raised, in a plot that's endlessly crazed.